Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's NKBA KBIS Design webinar, continuing our theme of surfaces and texture for the month of March. My name is Alicia Kidd, Program Manager of Virtual Events here at NKBA. I want to thank you for taking the time to join us. Today, we will dive into top tile trends reshaping the kitchen and bath industry with Christina Fady, trend expert and consultant with Confindustria Ceramica. After her presentation, her colleagues Chris Abady, founder of Novita Communications, and Yvonne Ronderas, owner and principal of Decor Interiors, will join to give some of their thoughts on the newest tile trends. Please enjoy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Faedi, and I'm very happy to be here with you today and talk about ceramics of Italy. My task today is to tell you about the latest trends of the Italian ceramic tile industry. And to do so, I split my presentation into 5 main different sections. And I will start immediately with the first one that I call perfection. In terms of ceramic tiles, I think that perfection is fully represented by ceramic marbles that are inspired by this noble material and are perfectly reproduced by technique, the innovative technique of the Italian ceramic tile industry that can reproduce every single details and mineral elements that is in that wonderful material with a very high level of realism and authenticity. This is why I introduced this, I included this image that gathered together those that are the main, let's say, bestseller in ceramic marbles. I'm talking about the marbles of the Italian tradition, that is Carrara, Calacatta, and Statuario. The background is super white, and thanks to the technology, every single fine line and veining can be reproduced in any color, from light gray to dark gray up to gold. And the same happens with travertine, that is a marble in hazelnut and beige color of the imperial Rome, so very traditional. But as I said, the relentless research of the Italian ceramic industry goes in the direction of looking for a different kind of stones and marble to be reproduced and be inspired from. And marbles are the rarest one, those that come from, I don't know, Africa or Middle East or Asia and even South America. And the offer is extremely wide. I cannot, show you everything that is on the market now, but I will make some example. This one, for example, is called Dorado. It's really dramatic in this veining and in brownish, in the burnishing colors. And the fact is that thanks to the innovative technology, is not only a visual effect, but if you touch with your hands the surface of those wonderful material, you can also feel the depression of those veinings, because it's a full body veining. So it goes into the thickness of the tile. Other example of these two, one is Breccia de Vendôme on the left. You can see those hues that goes from anthracite to copper, creating this wonderful effect. And also this rare and little known stone that is on the right that has this light pink, pale pink bottom, but it's crossed by this veining that looks like fossil branches. And look at this. This is called Breccia di Sicilia. It's a really astonishing and scenic effect that is enhanced by the size of this material. That is a huge slab that is more than 3 meters high. Of course, you can see that those veining are so dramatic and goes from dark gray, passing through yellow, orange, until red. I said that the offer is never ending. I cannot mention all the product, but I will spend a few words on the finishing. That's part of the innovative technique too. And I compared these two images in this slide just to show you that the difference between tone or tone shading and the mother of pearl finishing that gives this game of light on the right, and those super gloss finishing on the left that is mirroring more than crystal. And also, look at this. This is a ceramic stone. It looks like ice that is about to melt. I mean, I think that I gave also for this, from this first moment of my speech, the idea of a very high quality material, and Italian ceramic tiles really are. And I made a list that I want to read because the characteristic of this material are so, I mean, amazing that I don't want to forget anything. So I already mentioned that Italian ceramic tiles are produced in different sizes, from tiny tessera of mosaic, so just a few centimeters, up to a large slab, huge slab of meter high, and also in various thickness, because the slabs can be also super thin, which means 2 millimeter thick, that like a second skin for our homes, and but also ultra thick, more than 3 centimeter, just to be laid down outdoor, and you can also pass over it with your car. And the finishing I just mentioned, I mean, it's very important because it has like a sense of tactility. And there are an incredible range of color solution and graphic details. But not only that, because ceramics is super strong, it's durable, it's resistant to temperature changes, to wear and tear, to abrasion. They do not deform. They're fireproof, waterproof, they're anti-slip, they are easy to clean and to install, and are composed exclusively of natural raw materials. And last but not least, they are environmentally friendly. So thanks to these characteristics, we can say that Italian ceramic tiles can be installed everywhere, indoor and outdoor. They can cope with any style, but also they can they're perfect for any kind of architecture. And I mean residential, commercial, also public spaces, and contract. And for contract, the first, I mean, sectors that come to my mind are hospitality and wellness, like spa and so on. But they are perfect for interior design. Let me show you these two images, compare the one to the other. On the left, you see a kitchen that is covered with tiles everywhere, so a total ceramic total look. And it is on the floor, it is on the wall, it is also on the door of the cabinet, it is in the backsplash, it is on the countertop, it is also on the front of the furnishing. On the right, you see this living room, and the tiles are indoor and outdoor, in partition walls, and also on the fireplace. So thanks to the characteristics I mentioned before, these tiles can be cut to size and become part of the furnishing themselves. For example, like kitchen sinks, hobs, and also countertops. And thanks to that, the Italian companies have also completed the collection of their tiles with special pieces of furnishing made of the same material, such as these sinks in rectangular or round shapes, mirrors, but also tabletop for a coffee table, and tables that can be installed indoor and outdoor. So I think it's clear that the Italian ceramic industry is investing a lot in technology and innovation to create the best possible ceramic. The second trend is aquamood. You can say that ceramic tiles are born for to be installed in the bathroom, and that's because I mean, ceramic is friend of water, and they are perfect for a wet area. We always have seen, for example, mosaic to be installed in fountains or pools. Well, mosaic now has evolved. It's something more eclectic. You see that tessera are no longer only in square shape, but in hexagonal honeycomb. They are single-fired in production, so they can be installed indoor, but also outdoor because they resist to any kind of temperature, and they are not afraid of light, so they maintain the brightness of the color. And talking about the color, it can also be designed by according to the desire of the customer. So it can be personalized and customized with color blends. And as you can see on the right, they can cover also rounded shape elements. And you can imagine now I'm talking about the blue color, but also the inspiration after I spoke of marble is the water. And in this case, it's the sea. Thanks to the pressure in production to these lintels, these bricks, you can see this up and down that create a movement on the surface like it is sea waves. And the same movement on the surface are given by the color. For example, this paintbrush on the right, and also this shading on the left. And let me spend a few words on this shape. We call it listello in Italian. Maybe it's listel, or more easily brick. It's really very popular. It comes in thousands of different size, color, surface finishing. That's because it's really very versatile. It was used also in the recent past, but just for small area as a decorative element. And now, as you can see from this image, it is widely used thanks to this incredible possibility of installation layout. In here is in line, but it can also be installed in herringbones with this effect, and it can cover also rounded shape elements like this bar. And versatility is like the password for the Italian ceramic tiles, because all the collection that they are launching can be mixed together to have a very wide possibility and range of opportunity for the designer to cope with the desire of their customers. And talking about the blue color, of course, and the inspiration of the nature, the mastery in using the glazing can reproduce starry nights, but also light blue sky. And you can see that this huge slab in ceramic blue quartzite are so impressive. Any kind of architecture can use ceramics. You can see here this bright showroom, but also this cafeteria. So ceramic is no longer an element that is complementary to architecture, but it really adds something, a flair, an additional flair to any kind of interior design and architecture. Here we see that this big slab can cover the niche. The same material is on the bar and also on the floor for this very elegant total look. But at the same time, the same color and these big slabs in blue marble can give a very elegant appeal to this modern and contemporary living room. I don't know if you ever heard about fluid architecture. So it's like a new way of interpreting the architecture and the environment that compenetrate one to the other in a fluid way, and they want to instill a sort of tranquility and calm thanks to these very natural colors. Well, in this image, this trend is totally interpreted thanks to through the collection of our members in cold but cold tones, but also in warm tones that are the colors of the earth, that combines with the neutral one that you can find on the floor. The same colors are also in the interior with a very similar effect. And this fluid shape are also represented in the sanitary ware with colors and also rounded shape. Okay, that's the third trend that I call rehuman. We are noticing in the latest years an increased love in craftsmanship, cultural heritage, in the natural material. In the age of artificial intelligence and algorithm, the human tactile experience still matter. And we can say that the technology of the Italian ceramic industry can build a bridge between the past and the present, between culture and the contemporary production. So recovering something that is in our tradition, but giving out a very high-tech product. And for example, like this, the name of this tile in Italian is longherone. It's a sort of elongated brick, a rectangular one that was used in the past building in the building industry of the past. And so it dates back to our traditional way of constructing in Italy. And the colors, as you can see, are like fading. The look is very artisanal. It's like handmade. And the color are like pigments that are pressed on the top. And it's very uneven. Our companies are always looking for a new material that can give this idea of tactile experience. I think that this can be similar to corrugated paper. I like it a lot. It's like a piece of art, and it comes in the same palette we were talking before. So we're very pastel and natural and colors that create this comfort, this feeling of comfort and calm. But also the fabric is an inspiration. On the left, we see this denim look with uneven on this bricks with uneven surface, while on the right you see this that looks like clothes, overlapping clothes that are used to create partition walls and a theater stage, so like a scenography. And again, the textile design is an inspiration here. So the dining room is delimited by this rug that is created by the 3D graphics. And I spoke about marble, I spoke about sea, so the water and the air in the sky, and now it's the turn of the earth. So we have layer of sands on as an inspiration, of course, in the ceramics on the left, and also raw earth that is like pressed on the right. And there is a style trend that is called Japandi, which means the merging of Scandinavian rigor with the Japanese simplicity. And I think it's well represented in the tile on the left, where you can see this ceramic boiserie, very modern on the bottom, and on top of this huge slab of ceramics that represent like a raw clay that is engraved with a floral pattern and then also painted after that. So it becomes very precious for this very special effect. On the right, you see this raw earth, very peculiar, and but the peculiarity is also given by the fact that this material is composed of recycled materials, in particular cathode ray tubes. And the brick. So we find this revival of terracotta and bricks, but as you can see, the size is smaller, so it's much fresh and innovative. And I was mentioning before the human touch. Here we find this effect on big slabs, like a spatula painted wall. And this is undecorated porcelain stoneware. So that declares actually its own nature. Every single sand or flake and everything that is in the material is shown on the surface, exactly as it is. And the inspiration of traditional material can be seen also here. These are inspired by the roofing of rural villages in China. And these are jalousies made of extruded terracotta. I was mentioning before the fluid architecture where indoor and outdoor compenetrate. Well, this kind of material is perfect to let air and light get in, and it's in perfect dialogue with this kind of ceramic clay flooring. Okay, that's the fourth trend. I could not but mention it. It's all about stripes. It's very in trend. You may have heard about combed tiles or bas relief or striped. It's something that has to do with the surface of the tile. There's fine lines. Again, we find a Japanese influence because the inspiration of these tiles as a kimono and this folding. And we can find the same surface movement also on these tiny elements. But effect dates back to the Art Deco and has been recovered by many styles from urban, vintage, Scandinavian, but now it's really very popular because it has this dramatic effect, decorative effect. So it comes we can see it on the surfaces of the ceramic tiles that are inspired by natural material that like this stone or wood or travertine, and also marble. So not only the veining that are inside the full body of the material, but also the surface. And also the inspiration of, let's say, artificial material like cement or resins, or also metal effect. And it plays with volumes and also games of light and shadows. As I said, it can be so choreographic for a total look, but also when it covers just a part of it, a section of it, and of the room. And it also we find it also in the sanitary ware, for example, in this furniture on the left, but also in the sink on the right. And last but not least, I would mention this urban language, because I think that the ceramic tiles are born as a decorative element, and they really interpret what is the actual the nowadays lifestyle. So they are in step with the times. And it's like they are inventing a new alphabet thanks to the mastery in using this glazing. And so creating these games with light, using the natural colors that I mentioned before, like cotto or terracotta, or creating these abstract shapes in color or with this effect of polished and matte. It's like a Morse code. And in this, we can say that the starting point is for sure geometry, and create this never-ending possibility of patterns and creative layout, like a round or more edgy, irregular shape with cuts and three-dimensional effect. also in the marble with special cuts. And these tiny elements become like modern and urban fingerprints that explodes in very tiny metropolitan pattern that become like a cellular element and surprises us with this flow of ceramic colors. So this is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed this small exploration in ceramics of Italy. And I'm available for any kind of request, information on this presentation. You can refer to the chat box of NKBA and KBIS. And now I pass the word to Chris and Yvonne. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Chris Abadi, and I'm the CEO and founder of Novita Communications. I've had the honor of working with the Italian ceramic industry for over 30 years, and it was so great to have Christina share her insights. She's an amazing trend watcher and an artist herself, so it was just a real treat to be able to bring that to the US community, and especially following KBIS, where for the first time there was an Italian ceramic pavilion there with 15 manufacturers. And so we were able to show some of our top brands this year, and I hope to continue to show more to the kitchen and bath industry as we go, because we have such a long history in that area. So I'm very pleased to be here with Yvonne Ronderas. She is the founder and principal of Decor Interiors, and they're an international company, but based in Florida, and have won the Ceramics of Italy design competition on 2 different occasions for amazing projects. So we thought it would be really nice to follow some of these broader global trends with a look at the North American market, how we're seeing these things kind of coming into real projects, and how a designer like Yvonne is kind of navigating the opportunities that all of this amazing wealth of design and format and technological innovations are bringing to the design community. So welcome, Yvonne.
Thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to be a part of this.
So there's Yvonne, founder and principal. So I just want to just start a convo with a really quick piece of context. So that's a photo, it's a real photo of Bologna, an area in Emilia-Romagna, which is sort of the heart of the Italian ceramic industry. Christina comes to us from Modena, which is also a town that is a very central piece of the ceramic production. And the production and the designs are so informed by the culture of the community and the area in which they work. This is actually the headquarters of the Italian ceramic industry, based in a town called Sassuolo in the outskirts of Bologna in the same region. And they call it the Palazzina, the little palace, where they have a museum of ceramics. So if you ever want to come to see the ceramics and where it comes from, this whole area, it's amazing. They're just like companies everywhere producing.
So beautiful. I had the pleasure of going there one year, and it was spectacular.
Yeah, she came as part of our Trursai delegation for the
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
Thank you, Yvonne. So now we wanted to just share, just so you have it, the 15 companies that were with us this year at KBIS. Hopefully you got a chance to see them, and if not, we can share information on them, but these were the folks that came. And we have, as I mentioned, some images from their newest collections, which we feel, again, are really echoing everything Christina mentioned.
This is so exciting for us. We work with residential developments, and we're seeing more and more that buyers want their kitchens incorporated within those luxurious common areas, whether it's in a family room or it's shared even with your formal living room. So being able to use ceramics as a cooktop is really exciting. It's going to be a really nice way for us to kind of camouflage the kitchen or make it more of a design feature. So we're excited to be able to implement this.
Yeah, so they're using the porcelain materials. It's a very new innovation.
Uh-huh.
It's showing at the show this year, but it showed at the show this year. But it's also, just as Yvonne said, such a beautiful way to, hold on 1 second, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do that.
It's probably one of the things I'm most excited about, because it's really, kitchens have become such a big part of interiors. And so we're always finding ways to, make the cabinets, all the millwork more beautiful and embellish it, whether it's more in the more traditional side or make it very sleek and contemporary, but adding warmth in a more minimalistic approach. So now the countertops, you're not, you don't have to use the appliance there. You don't have to have necessarily the cooktop and think about what color. It's always either black or white. And in this case, there's going to be so many options for the consumer. So this is going to be really nice.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So again, each image is, this has got the stripes, the porcelain floors that are natural porcelain, also on the table and on the bench. I mean, even those wood slats are not real wood. I mean, they are porcelain, and they are so functional and fabulous, especially with the super thin sizing that they come in. You can kind of cover things. And I know we talked about that. I'll show another shot or two.
Yeah, it speaks back to what Christine was sharing with us about the fluid architecture and how the indoor and outdoors relate. So being able to use the same materials and it just flow through with these really large openings that we're seeing now that transition from the inside to the outside is going to be really nice.
And also the covers, I think you were saying also the covers of the cabinets, because they're so thin, you can cover not just the countertop and
Yeah.
not just the backsplash, but the actual fronts of all of the
Yeah,
cabinets.
we're seeing that a lot. This is a great example of wood. Wood is being used. It's always an element that's so, it's like a go-to element to warm up a space, whether you're working in, again, contemporary or a more traditional setting. And now we've been seeing wood ceramics for many years, but now being able to see it with an even more realistic texture and texture. So now when you're thinking, we hear a lot from our clients, but I like the way wood feels on your feet. So you won't necessarily have the warmth as you might in a natural wood, but we're already starting to feel the texture, which is something very new. So it's really exciting.
And the plank size are so that, I mean, as Christina mentioned, the sizes are so,
Yes,
range is so vast. So you can
it's
get, they're not looking, this, each piece is kind of different. The repeat will be like after so many different, boxes, you find one that's similar. So the way they actually are able to lay them and play with the formatting and you said texture and
the textures.
they're just amazing. And you'll see
It's
that.
something I suggest that when you are sourcing it out, ask how many prints do they provide with each collection, because you'd be surprised that every collection might have 8, 9, 10, 11 prints. So you won't see the same wood plank. And then now they're also offered in really large slab sizes. So this is great for either applying straight on interior walls, or we'll see a little bit in some of the work that we've done, how we've applied it to exterior within architecture. So that's really, really innovative for us here in Florida.
Yeah, and even in this here, again, this indoor outdoor, the large pieces in the back that create, you can even, there are just so many different finishes. I mean, I even saw one that was like a stucco Veneziano that was a large panel, but it had this feeling that you're using, a stucco technique. So just some of those, I mean,
That artisanal.
Yeah, the variety is amazing, amazing.
Beautiful.
Here again, I don't know, you want to say something about this, Yvonne, or?
Well, I would, we've seen for many years that, as Christine was sharing with us, the traditional Italian stones, the Calicut, and now we're seeing it with more of those tones that she also shared with us, the terracottas. So we see how this is, these prints are now showing a warmer side of marble, which is really nice. And even though we're showing it here in a kitchen, it's even conducive to applying within common areas. So that's really exciting. You can see here, if you look closely, that they are applying it on top of the cabinet drawers and doors. So that really gives a whole nother level of durability and also seamlessness. So it's very nice for certain types of design. So we've seen that a lot from many kitchen manufacturers from Italy that they're incorporating. This is really fun. I'm sure within the industry, we've all been seeing that clients are wanting more the backlit stone. In the past, we haven't had the option of doing it with ceramic, so we had to use stone, and a lot of these stones were very delicate and they're very costly. So it's really exciting to be able to see that now we have a ceramic option. So we're excited.
Mm-hmm. I know that's why it's so, when you, especially those, I'm sure the folks at KBIS enjoyed it, when you get to sort of see it all in one place, and then especially, and if you go to Italy, to Versailles, there's so much. So it
It,
just,
it it's overwhelming.
go crazy. That's why I've worked so many years for the industry, but I never cease to be amazed by what they come up with next and how they move us all forward. And a lot of these things are making it into the market sooner and being used. And I think we talked a bit about fabrication, you and I too, just just how the local installers are getting more.
More. I'll share a little bit more about that when we get to our slides, but yes, even fabrication is becoming more common and more comfortable.
Yeah, so this I think is, obviously kind of bringing indoor out and the biophilia effect. And I think a lot of the spaces that we're kind of create these sanctuaries in our homes, in our bathrooms specifically. So I think that we thought this was a wonderful example.
Beautiful application, inspired again by the textiles. It almost feels like a fabric or a tapestry on the wall, and it's in a wet area. It makes it really durable.
And I mean, the other thing to say is that a lot of these large slabs can be considered almost like wallpaper. So, some of them are, the image can just come down as a slab into like a 5 by 10, piece that's actually thin that can be applied to the wall that has all the functionality of porcelain, but it can be used in a bathroom, but it's not wallpaper. It's
not wallpaper. It's durable. You won't have to think about it. And our clients more and more are asking, how do you clean it? How long will it last? What are the pros and cons? And so these are really good options. It might be a little bit more of an upfront cost, but the durability and the lifetime of the products is well worth it.
Yeah. And here I know Christina was talking about the herringbone Cislestelo shape, and just how, again, the important the installation is, because you can, and the designer, to take a material and then make it your own and create something by mixing colors. And just that's why the design professional is so important in the process, because they will take this palette and then put it together in a way that can be surprising and exciting. And
this is really nice too. When I saw this, I thought how beautiful it is to be able to, first, the cabinet fronts look both like wood, and they're porcelain, and they're extremely durable. You wipe them down. There's the maintenance is minimal. And then you start getting a peak, which we'll see in the backsplash of that artisanal kind of the old world, because that's so in trend right now. People want to see the story behind everything, and how maybe it was handmade, and that was something that we were looking for in clay tiles, and now we can find them in ceramics. In the next slide here, this is a really nice example how it feels oven baked. And it's not
just hot out of the oven.
Yeah,
it
does. And
the textural effects, and in former years, like I'm talking about years ago when I first started, even like you have to triple fire something to get that effect. And then now the technology, they're so much stronger, and they're they're more resistant. You can use them on the floor, but they have these amazing rich surfaces. Then I know we're talking surfaces, so it's neat to see that kind of evolution as well.
I was really excited about that. And this as well, because when things are handmade, they have a beautiful story behind them, and it is really nice for the right application, right? But sometimes you have a client that's very weary. The concern is the color going to be the same, and when it's handmade, there is margin for variety in colors. So you're kind of, crossing your fingers and hoping that it's going to come out the color that they've approved. But in this case, you'll have so much more control over the color palette, over the variety and the tonality. So it gives you more confidence to be a bit more bold in the design. So these are some great examples of that. Again, the tapestry, we were talking about the wallpaper. It almost feels you want to touch it. Like, is it real? Is it tile? Is it wallpaper?
Yeah.
This was really pretty. And Christine talked about this as well in the example on the left. This was something we were only finding in marble, in real marble, that it had to be carved out, and it was extremely expensive, and our clients were asking us for it. So now having it in ceramic is going to be is really exciting. And then the example on the right, again, another trend, we're getting asked more and more for patterns, geometry, color, that, you know, that really just speaking personality.
It makes
Okay.
a statement. Makes, so now we're going to segue over to some decor interior projects. I think it's like perfect background.
Yes.
And I just want to, you know, say that Yvonne's company is so exceptional, and she comes from a family of entrepreneurs, and her mom is an interior designer, and also, you know, having empathy at the center, empathy-driven design, and really looking at what's going to work on the residential level for families. So it was just such a perfect opportunity to talk with you. So yeah, I look forward to hearing more about some of your projects.
Aw.
You used Italian
Thank you,
ceramics.
Chris. No, it's our pleasure. I think it really made an impact on me when I visited Cersei. And I visited Bologna, and just seeing the artistry and the passion behind this industry to innovate and consistently change things up. It wasn't enough that, okay, we're selling a lot of this, let's just keep producing. It's like, okay, we're doing really well with this. Now, how are we going to do it better? Like, what's next?
Yeah, that's true.
And so going to Cersei is always really, really exciting. I hope to go back soon.
Yeah.
This is one of our projects that we did, believe it or not, almost 15 years ago. Our clients just came back to us and asked us now to do a little, like a fun apartment for them, because this is their more elegant one. So I was there in person after many years, a couple of weeks ago, actually. And the story behind this is that they were building this multi-million-dollar home, and the builder was encouraging them, you need to go with marble, you need to go with the stone. And they didn't want the durability, they didn't want the maintenance of a stone. And so we convinced them to go with a ceramic, and it's held up so well. They have pets, they have life. It's just, they live there. And the floor is perfect. Everything here, we can see how also same home, how at this time the prints were starting to come out in the wood, but they were already so good that we were able to mimic it on the floor and back on the millwork. So that's always, when it's so realistic, it's so much easier to work with. So that was really exciting for
This
us.
bathroom is so beautiful. Who doesn't want to have it?
I know this.
Honestly, this family was so lucky.
This is a great use of ceramic. So this is designed by a renowned architect here in Florida. And the client came to us on the side and said, you know, our architect is insisting that we use real wood. But I'm so concerned because it's going to silver, it's not going to wear well. I'm going to have to sand. Imagine all of those fins, sand each one.
All that ceiling.
And all the ceiling, and you know, every couple of years at least, I need to find something that looks real enough that he'll approve. And so we don't work on architecture, but we felt compelled to, you know, help him find the solution. And so we were able to find this wood planking, and that it carries out. Here's a really good example of how it goes from the exterior back on the wall, and then we matched it in the interior side with actual wood. So it was a great solution.
Behind the bed, amazing.
Here, a client also wanted that concrete feel. He's a modernist. He was very picky, and it took us a little bit of convincing to go take him to a ceramic, but now he's so happy he did, because he was going to go with the natural concrete. But with natural concrete, you can have cracking, you can have inconsistency. If there's a damage, you need to almost do the entire floor again, unless you have someone specialized to be able to repair that one spot. It's very challenging. So this worked out really, really nice. This is one of the projects we won an award for. It's in the Keys in Florida, which is a region with very tropical. And they wanted that warm feel of wood. And so we carried it throughout the entire 2-story, I think it was 6 bathrooms, and everywhere. We complemented it with beautiful ceramics on the walls, but this wood plank, we found one with a lot of different variation in design, so that we couldn't see a reoccurring pattern, and it turned out beautiful.
So it's on the ceiling as well,
No, in the ceiling we did real wood. This is just on all the flooring. But I would recommend, when you are using a wood plank tile, really get picky about the grouts. because it's all in the grout. You find the right grout color and you be sure to pick up those hues from the the ceramic, and it's gonna look, you can't tell the difference. You'll need to touch it.
Mhm. And here, obviously, you have a large slab porcelain. I know you've been dealing with installation on that. Any
Yes.
share with
This
that?
is another project. So as soon as we saw, after going to Cersei, we saw that the slabs were coming out, and they were being offered here from a few distributors, but the manufacturers, the actual, stone manufacturers didn't know how to use them.
Yeah.
So we were saving a lot of costs on the material, but in the labor was extremely expensive. So something we can appreciate now is that a lot of these distributors are meeting up with the fabricators, and they're showing them, these are the materials you need to use, the blades, this is the system, this is the machinery. And now we're really starting to see the cost benefits of being able to use the ceramic slabs on fireplaces. In the next slide, you can see how we used it. We included two photos here because you could see a little bit more of a close-up on the right. But this was going back to those other prints that we saw, a warmer kind of a stone feel, but with the warmer tones. And we used it cutting them out in these different shapes. And it was very easy for them to do, because at this point now, this was a few years later, still about 5 years ago, they were starting to become more familiar with it, with the material.
Yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of the industry's working very closely hand in hand with the contractor associations and to do training, because as new materials come in, you want to make sure that the installer, is comfortable, and then their price has come down as they have become more familiar with the process. So
Yes, it's
material and installation comes down.
yes. This is another example. Here we have the stone was cut into shelving, same stone. So I think here we bought 2 slabs of porcelain, and we were able to use it for shelves. We were able to use it on the back of the TV wall. We were able to use it within the little cubbies, the cabinets there on the left. So it really was a cost-effective way of using a stone-like material without the complications of it.
Well, I mean, Yvonne, that was so good. I want to talk to you more and more about about ceramics and their use, and so it was a really wonderful opportunity to hear from you. I want to just end on this last page, which has information on the Italian ceramic industry. We run a design competition every year, so and every other year focuses on North America, and then the other year focuses on global and European installations by even American designers and architects can enter it both years. So that's our website for the competition, and our Instagram for Ceramics of Italy, where you'll see Yvonne's work and other great, and a lot of the products you saw today through Christina's presentation, and our wonderful 15 exhibitors from KBIS. So we are so thankful to KBIS and NKBA for this opportunity, and thankful to Yvonne and also to Christina to join us from Italy to give us this moment with you. So do send any questions through the chat, and we're all going to be happy to answer and help you to find, source, and use ceramics, and hopefully learn more about us in the coming years.
Yes. Thank you for having us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.